Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and today we're going to be doing a collab video with Hannah Blackwell. I will link her channel and her video down below so that you can go check her out. She makes great videos and you should definitely subscribe while you are visiting her channel. But for this video that we're doing together, we are both huge fans of reverse harem or wide shoes romances, and she reached out and asked me if I wanted to do a collab talking about some reverse harems that we have on our radar that are like top priority reads that we want to read next. So I thought that this would be really fun since I'm pretty much always in the mood for reverse harems. So I have a list of actually 10. I could not narrow it down past that. It was honestly hard to only choose 10, but I didn't want this video to get super long. But I have 10 reverse harem wide shoes romances that are like next up for me to read when I get the chance. So I'm just gonna get right into the books because there are so many of them. So the first one that I have is Poison Roses. This is book 1 in the new Tate James series. I have to look up what the actual name of the series is called, but the first book is definitely called Poison Roses. I wanted to read the series in general because it's Tate James and I love Tate James. She's one of my favorite reverse harem writers, but this I have had to wait because the audiobooks weren't out, but the audiobooks for book 1 and book 2 are now out, so I'm so excited and definitely going to be reading this one next. I wanted to wait until at least the first 2 were out on audio because Tate James definitely does cliffhangers with her reverse harems, and so I wanted to not have to deal with the cliffhanger after the end of book 1 without being able to go right into a second one. So I wanted to have at least 2 out, and now they both the first 2 books in the series are both out on audio, so I will definitely be reading them soon. So I just looked it up and the series is called The Boys of Belle Rose, and it's gotten really good reviews. Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl actually gave it 5 stars, so that makes me so excited. And I know that Tabitha from Probably a Love Story on Instagram, she really liked it as well. And it says that it is a mafia rock star reverse harem, and I am a huge fan of Tate James's other mafia ones, or like gang ones. Hades and Madison Kate are more like gangs than mafia, but I'm really excited. I love a rock star romance and I love Tate James, so I hope that that series is going to be amazing. I think that there will be a total of 4 books and I don't think all of them are out yet, but the first 2 are definitely out on audio, and I think that the third one might be out on ebook, but not on audio yet. So excited. The next one that I have is Thief by S. Mastery. I have heard this one talked about a ton as what to read if you loved Madison Kate and wanted something like Madison Kate. And so I love Madison Kate by Tate James, and this is the one that so many people have recommended to me and said if you liked Madison Kate that you should read this one. I have never read a book by S. Mastery before, but I've heard really good things about this series. So this one, I think, has 4 books in this series as well, and it says that it is a mature college new adult romance with dark themes, and it looks like that the heroes own a fight club, which I think that sounds really cool. And I think that maybe the heroine witnessed something that she wasn't supposed to witness, and the 3 guys have to like get her to not talk about what she witnessed. And I've heard that the heroine is like kind of badass like Madison Kate, so that's why it's compared to Madison Kate a lot, but I hope that I love it. I have said multiple times already in this video, and I've only been talking for 5 minutes, that I love Madison Kate and I love that series, and so that's the series that really got me into reverse harems, and so I'm really hoping that this series also gives that same vibes. The next one that I have is Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. So this one I actually saw when I was scrolling through the Barnes & Noble pre-order sale a couple of months ago, and I clicked on it because the cover intrigued me, And then I read the synopsis and it said that it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it's a reverse harem. And I was like, that sounds amazing. I love Beauty and the Beast retellings. They're probably my favorite retellings to read in romance. I just think that the story works so well with the tropes of romance. You can make it a contemporary, you can make it a darker romance with the different tropes that are in the Beauty and the Beast story. And so I have never read a reverse harem Beauty and the Beast romance, and so I think that that would be fantastic. So I actually just saw yesterday, I think, that the audiobook has come out for Bonded by Thorns, so I am definitely going to be reading that ASAP, since reverse harem Beauty and the Beast retelling and on an audiobook, just right up my alley. I'm so excited. I've also never actually heard of Elizabeth Helen before as an author, so I don't know if she writes anything else or if this is like a debut, but I'm gonna have to look into it more if I enjoy this book, which I really, really, really hope that I do. The next one that I have is another one that's been on my list for like a really long time that I just have not gotten to yet, and I really need to. It's like top of my list now, and that is Psychoshifters by Jasmine Mass. I have seen this one talked about and recommended on different reverse harem groups for a really long time, and it just sounds so interesting. And one of the biggest things that drew me to this book is the cover. I think that it's so cool looking. I love that the way that the like heroine is on the front and she has like a snake around her neck, and I just think it looks really badass. But this one, I believe, has Omegaverse elements to it. I know that it's a reverse harem, but it also has Omegaverse elements to it, and I know that it also has MM aspects to it. I'm not sure about the other ones that I've mentioned, but I know specifically that in the synopsis of this book that they do say that it includes MM content, which I actually enjoy in my reverse harems. So this one is a dark paranormal bully reverse harem, which sounds really good. I enjoy paranormal romances a lot, and I think that paranormal and reverse harem fits really well together, especially when you have like shifters and mates. I don't know if fated mates is involved in this book, but I do think that fated mates and reverse harem fits very nicely together. So I'm really excited about it. Okay, the next one that I have is Sinner's Playground, which is part of the Harlequin series, Harlequin Club series, I think is what it's called, by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. So these are the same authors who wrote Zodiac Academy. I don't want to read Zodiac Academy. It's not on my list. But these ones, this is a reverse harem series that they write, and I've heard that it's really good. I am slightly apprehensive about this one though, because I did read the first book in the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, which is a reverse harem series by the same authors, and I hated that first book. But I have heard that this other one, this one specifically, Sinner's Playground, this series is so much better than Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac. Okay, so the series is called the Harlequin Crew series, not the Harlequin Club series. I was mistaken. So this one is not a paranormal, I believe. The Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac is a paranormal. So I believe that this one is a contemporary, and it is an enemies to lovers type situation. And I do believe that it's like a darker romance, and it has like gangs and violence in it, which sounds fun. I think that it will lead to something very, very interesting for the story, but I hope that I enjoyed this one more than I enjoyed Dark Fae, because I really didn't like that one. But I've heard so much about the two authors writing together, so I just want to try something else, and I think that I will be more suited for their contemporary writing than their paranormal writing. The next one that I have is Legacy of Shadows by Tessa Hale. This is Tessa Hale's newest trilogy that she has released. I have read her other two reverse harems series that she has, and I really enjoy them. I think that they are so fun and easy to read. They go by very quickly since each book is very short, and they are only 3 books in each of the series, so they're trilogies, and I just think that they are so approachable, and they are usually paranormal, and I do believe that this other one, this newest one, is also paranormal, but they have such fun themes, fun characters, the smut is good, and I just think that they are kind of almost like a palate cleanser reverse harem, you know? They don't have the like overly heavy, violent and dark topics like a lot of reverse harems, at least the ones that I read, include. And so these ones are usually a little bit shorter. They're just like easy and good, and I like the writing in them. They're a little bit, or at least the other ones that I've read by this author are a little bit more new adult-ish, a little bit more, the characters are usually a little younger. But I'm not mad about it. Like, I enjoy them, and I'm excited for a new series, and I'm really excited that she's putting all of her books on audio now. So this one had a simultaneous audio release, I believe. So that's very, very exciting for me who reads audiobooks. Okay, so the next one that I have is another series that I've heard so much about and have just not gotten to, and that is the St. View Prison series by Ella Thorpe. I have heard so many people talk about and love this series, and I just never picked it up. I actually do think that my library has it, or like Hoopla has it, so I really have no excuse for why I haven't read it yet. But this one is a, I think there's like a murder, and she's like mistakenly, one of the heroes gets like charged for the murder. That could be entirely wrong, but that's what I remember of somebody telling me about it, and I was like, that's intriguing. So I do believe that all of the heroes are like, it does include the like dark violence that a lot of reverse harems have. So I think that the heroine ends up being in danger, and the heroes are angry at her that she thought that they were the killer, but then they aren't the killer, and the killer's still out there, and I think that the killer might go after her, and they have to help like protect her. So that could be entirely wrong, but that's what I remember people telling me about it. So it's giving me like a little bit of like a romantic suspense vibe, which I'm intrigued by. I love a good mystery. I think that the murder would give an interesting plot line, and I think that it'll be really, really fun to try and figure out like who the killer is and get the like fear and tension between the characters and like bring them closer together. At least that's what I'm hoping, for some good like tension between them. But I'm excited, and it sounds great. The next one that I have is a new release that I am really, really excited about, but also a little tiny bit apprehensive about, because the book is ridiculously long and there's no audiobook. So I might have to wait for the audiobook for this one, but I'm still really, really intrigued by it. And that is Pucking Around by Emily Rath. This one is a hockey romance reverse harem. Like, what? I love hockey romances. They are my all-time favorites. I read hockey romance all of the time. It's one of my all-time favorite things in romance, and I love reverse harems, and I have never read or heard of a hockey reverse harem. If there are more hockey reverse harems, please let me know down in the comments and I will read all of them. But I'm so excited about the idea of a hockey reverse harem, and so I have to read this book. It's like 700 pages, like I looked it up, and it's like really fucking long. But when I think about it, I'm like, all other reverse harems that I've read have been like multiple books in a series, and so this is just one book, and so I just have to think about it that way. It's not that bad, but there is no audiobook, so I'm probably going to have to wait at least a little while and to see if hopefully they come out with an audiobook. But I'm really, really excited about it. I love the idea of a hockey reverse harem. I think that it would be so frigging interesting, especially if like all the hockey players are on the same team, or if maybe there's like a rivalry going on between them. I have no idea. All I saw when I looked at this book was hockey and reverse harem, and I was like, I'm in. The next one is a Catherine Moon book. I couldn't make a reverse harem video about books I'm excited about without including Catherine Moon. So there are many Catherine Moon books that could end up on this list, but the one next up on my list for her to read is The Company of Fiends. This is book 2 to The Lady of Rooksgrave Manor. It's following a different couple, or a different group, since there's more than 2 people, but it's following a different group, a different heroine, and I loved Lady of Rooksgrave Manor. I was really surprised how much I enjoyed Lady of Rooksgrave Manor. It was one of my first reverse harems. Madison Kate made me love reverse harems, but I think that I read Lady of Rooksgrave Manor first. But I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it, and I love Catherine Moon's writing. I love Catherine Moon's writing. I love the positivity in like the sex positivity that she includes in all of her books. There is no shame, there is no judgment in any of her books, and I so appreciate that, and I think it's so important to include. And I just love how strong and powerful all of the heroines are. I love the heroes, and I am definitely excited to continue this kind of like historical vibe reverse harem series. So I'm excited for this one. That's the Company of Fiends, and I hope that I love it as much as I liked the Lady of Rooksgrave Manor. Okay, so the last one that I have for this video that's highly on my TBR that I'm very excited about is Losers by Harley LaRue. I am both highly excited about this book and utterly terrified by it. I have heard so many things about this book. I am just blown bonkers about, I have no idea what to think about this book. I sort of just want to like go for it, you know? I don't want to like over question myself and be like, do I actually want to read this? I just want to go for it. So I've never actually read a Harley LaRue book, but I have heard whacked out things about her books, and they are pretty out there. They are pretty crazy, and I am here for it. I'm living for that excitement, and I think that this book and this duet, actually there's two, I think that it would be insane to just like go for it and just read it. And I'm gonna do it, and I'm nervous about it, but I'm gonna do it. I don't know if there's an audiobook for it. I really hope so. But as always, if there isn't an audiobook, I'll probably have to wait a little bit to hopefully see if they'll come out with an audiobook. But I'm really intrigued by Harley LaRue and the books that she writes. I've watched so many TikToks about it. So many people are so like mind boggled by this series, by this duet, and by Harley LaRue's books in general. And so I want to experience it. And so it had to be on this list. But that's the last one that I had, at least for this video, because we're getting long now. But I have so many more that I could talk about. I am so excited to read more reverse harems. Please let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to do a reverse harem reading vlog, because I would totally be down for that. Because like I said, there's pretty much no day where I'm not in a reverse harem mood. I could pick up a reverse harem at any minute. So that's gonna be it for this video. I'm very excited to read all of these books. Also, let me know down in the comments below if there are any books, reverse harem books, that are your absolute favorites that I have to read, because I'm always looking for more recommendations. Again, make sure you check out Hannah's video. She will have her list of books that she's super excited to be reading next that are on her TBR, so you can get even more to add to yours. But that's gonna be it. So please like this video if you liked it, subscribe, stick around, and I hope that you have the absolute best day. Bye.